documented creeps. It was a Friday evening, and I was making my way home from school. At 13 years old, the prospect of a hunting trip had me positively buzzing with excitement. Hunting was my passion, especially at the ranch we frequented in Alice, Texas. This place held a trove of cherished memories etched into my heart from the tender age of 4. Those were the years when it was my grandpa, my dad, and me venturing into the wild. But this time, we were joined by some other folks from the ranch owner's family. We were all geared up and raring to go. The calendar dictated that it was deer season, a time of year I treasured the most. There's an unparalleled thrill in locking eyes with a majestic deer just inches away from your own. And then, of course, the profound act of taking the shot. Some folks out there preach that killing animals is wrong, but I beg to differ. If you're eating what you hunt, it's an age-old pact with the wild. The ranch loomed in the distance as we pulled up, the darkness of a 10 p.m. arrival contrasting with our mounting excitement. The ranch sprawled over 300 acres, with a modest campsite akin to a rustic little shack, just about the size of a regular bedroom. It had electricity, but it wasn't the grand cabin where most hunters bedded down. There were a few small beds inside, but my dad's discovery of a colossal snake's shed there when I was young had us pitching tents ever since. Surrounded by the embrace of the woods and a small field ahead, roughly the size of a football field, we used the clearing for dove hunting. After unpacking, we gathered around the campfire, spinning yarns, cracking jokes, and reveling in the camaraderie. Then came the scream. That scream, it sliced through the night like a knife through the heart. It was the most unnerving sound I'd ever heard, something beyond human, something otherworldly. The cry echoed not too far from where we sat, and each of us leapt from our seats, a silent consensus in our eyes that something was terribly amiss. The ranch owner was the first to voice the dread that clung to our group like a shroud. He asked, in a quivering voice, "What the hell was that?" It was an unspoken command that he and one of his kin would go check it out. The old man, well into his 70s, moved with the urgency of someone half his age, underlining the seriousness of the situation. The rest of us waited, an uneasy silence weighing down the night. We embarked on our search, the throbbing anxiety palpable. Riding in my grandpa's ATV, we combed the perimeter, but the darkness concealed whatever secrets the ranch held. I was still haunted by that spine-chilling scream, so scared that even the prospect of being alone in the pitch-black night left me petrified. Hunters know the drill. You must rise before dawn and ascend to the blind to remain unseen by the deer. I shivered in the tent, a gun clutched beside me, and waited for the alarm to signal the start of another eerie morning. The alarm's jarring wail pierced the darkness, and I reluctantly crawled out of the tent. Fear clung to me like a second skin as my grandpa deposited me at the blind with the ATV and sped off. My dad was already in his position, and my grandpa, ever the tough love type, left me alone in the darkness, expecting me to find my own way to the blind. I began my ascent up the ladder, navigating the dark with just my sense of touch. In the blind, I settled in, peering out into the abyss, awaiting the break of dawn. 20 minutes passed, but the night still clung, wrapping the world in obsidian. Then, I spotted something in the middle of the trail, a dark shape beckoning me. Straining to see, I realized it was time to employ the night vision sight my uncle had gifted me. My heart raced with anticipation, expecting to lock my sights on a magnificent deer. But what I saw, or rather, what saw me would forever haunt my nightmares. Whether you believe it or not, what lay in my crosshairs was no deer. It was a figure, distorted and eerie, but undoubtedly human in form. I couldn't discern its face through the limited clarity of the night vision, but I could tell it was looking straight at me. Then it happened. That same bone-chilling scream that had tortured my sleep echoed through the night. Only this time, it was louder, closer. Words fail me when I attempt to articulate the sheer terror that enveloped me. It was beyond fear, a primal, gut-wrenching dread. Somehow, I broke free from the shock's paralyzing grip, grabbing my .22 and unloading the entire clip into the figure's path. My terror fueling my actions, I swapped the .22 for my rifle and emptied its rounds into the same space. When I peered back through the night vision, it was gone. My phone buzzed incessantly, inundated with messages and calls, mostly from my dad. I told him what I'd witnessed, and he confirmed hearing the chilling cry as well. My grandpa, too, had been privy to the horror. We still venture to that hunting ground, but the once peaceful hunts have transformed into nerve-wracking escapades. Now, I only go with my dad, afraid that whatever that thing was might return. Its identity remains an enigma, for it survived 25 rounds from a .22 and 4 rounds from a .243. There were no signs of blood or any trace when we scoured the area, not even a footprint. The darkness had concealed its secrets, but it left an indelible mark on my soul, a testament to the terrors that lurk in the wild unknown. Thanks for joining us on this spine-tingling journey at Documented Creeps. If you crave more eerie tales, real-life encounters, and mysteries that defy explanation, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe.